Acheron is the strongest character in Honkai's Star Rail, but there is a very important question on everyone's mind regarding her signature Lightcone. Do you really need it? And what is the difference between her signature Lightcone and her best 4-star Lightcones? Well, I will clear all your doubts in this video, and by the end, you will be able to decide if you want to pull for her signature Lightcone. So before all the testing, let me show you a side-by-side performance of both Lightcones with the exact same setup and build. So the Goodnight and Sleepwell Lightcone did 380,000 damage, and my Goodnight Sleepwell is at Superimposition 5, and at Superimposition 5 it gives a total of 72% damage increase with its passive. So 380k damage with a 4-star Lightcone and average stats is really impressive, but even with this much damage there are some downsides to it. One major downside of the Goodnight Sleepwell Lightcone is that it does not have any debuffs that it can apply, so Acheron will have to completely rely on her teammates to apply debuffs, and Acheron herself can apply one debuff with her skill, so with the Goodnight Sleepwell, your ult point generation will be slow. As for our signature Lightcone, that is the Along the Passing Shores, it did around 424,000 damage and it's at Superimposition 1, and the damage difference between both the Lightcones is around 44,000 damage, which is not that big. So damage wise, Superimposition 5, Goodnight and Sleepwell and the Passing Shores are pretty close, but the main advantage of her signature Lightcone is its passive. It gives 36% crit damage, that is very valuable, but this Mirage Fizzle is the main selling point of this Lightcone. So whenever Acheron hits an enemy with any attack, she will apply this Mirage Fizzle on all the enemies that she hits, and enemies with Mirage Fizzle will take 24% more damage from Acheron and 24% more damage if she uses her ult. So she is getting effectively 48% damage increase plus 36% crit damage with this Lightcone. But there is one more thing. Mirage Fizzle is also a debuff, and if Acheron uses her skill with this Lightcone equipped, she will get 2 ult points instead of 1. So with this Lightcone, you will get your ultimates a lot quicker than the other Lightcones that don't have any debuffs on them, and this is the main reason I got her signature Lightcone, and this is very helpful in every scenario. And with the combination of this Lightcone and my Japard, who has the Trends of Universal Market Lightcone equipped, she gets her ultimate points very quickly, and if I'm really lucky and all the enemies decide to hit Japard, then I get 2 ultimates in one cycle in Memory of Chaos, which is a huge DPS increase and pretty busted. So her signature Lightcone is definitely worth it, and even if you have a S5 Goodnight Sleepwell, it is still a good upgrade both damage wise and utility wise. And if you are thinking of maximizing your Acheron, then I highly recommend you go for her signature Lightcone. It is definitely better than her E1, and if you have Acheron's E2 with her signature, then you will be ulting every other turn, and at that point this is not a turn based game anymore. Subscribe.